Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or this little part of the bookish world. I'm Tina, if I have not ever said that in any of my videos, but you would think Tina Wonderfully Made would give you the idea that my name is Tina. But anyways, I hope you're blessed, and I hope everyone around you is blessed as well. As you can tell by the title, this is April wrap-up. Like, where did April go? Like, I feel like I was just celebrating my anniversary, which was April 10th, and now it's the end of April. So thank you for stopping by. I am so blessed that you're here. If you are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'm not a big YouTuber, you guys, but I'm so blessed that you're here and that you stick around and that you watch my videos. That gives me so much joy. So with that being said, I read 5 books in the month of April, and I'm here to tell you all about them. Okay guys, so like I said, I read 5, that's 10, Tina. I read 5 books in the month of April. There were some great ones. There was some that were like, eh, and then there was one that I just could not rate, because I'll let you know about it. So let's start off with the first book that I read. I know in my April TBR video, if you have not seen that, I will link that in the description box, but I was celebrating my anniversary month, and so I wanted to pick books according to that. It didn't necessarily have anything to do with the anniversary or being married 25 years, but I wanted to find something that, or books that would go with like a theme of April. So this one had nothing to do with love or marriage or anything, but it started with an A, and since April starts with an A, I figured I would pick it because I had been seeing a lot of people talk about it, and I am a thriller girl, so I'm definitely going to pick a thriller every month. You know, I have to. So this one is Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Healy, I believe. I'm probably butchering the whole name, but here it is. This book, you guys, from the beginning just had me like, okay, definitely gonna be a good read. So it's talking about 3 women, I believe, yeah, 3 women that meet this guy. It's the same guy through like dating apps or at a bar, whatever, and he ends up them, and even though they're dead, they still get the revenge. The only thing, okay, I gave this book a 4-star. It could be 4.5-ish because of the thrill and the craziness of it all. I didn't rate it 5 because it's not like, OMG, I need to read this all over again, but it's definitely a great read, and I'm definitely recommending it if you love thrillers. If you want to step your foot into a thriller, I don't know if this would be the first one that you want to read, but if you are loving thrillers, this is the book to read. It has the 3 different point of views from the 3 different women, and they flip-flop. It doesn't tell you which girl you're reading, so that's the only thing that like was a turn off to me, because I had to keep reading to figure out, okay, which girl is this? Oh, okay, now I know who it is. But the crazy thing is, towards the end, the whole story comes to like, it just comes together, and it's a shocker, you guys. Like, definitely check it out. Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Healy. Okay, guys, now the second book that I read, it's my lowest rated book this month. I have heard about this author from a few different TikTokers. She is a Black author, and I wanted to incorporate it because of the title, first of all, and because since I'm trying to read a lot more Black authors as well as Hispanic authors, since I am biracial, I figured that this would be a good one to start with. wish I didn't. I wish it was like one of the other ones that I have of hers, but I didn't have them at the time. And it is While We Were Dating by Jasmine Guillory. You guys, I wanted to love this so much because the cover, first of all, is so pretty. Like, I absolutely love this cover. And I mean, I did dog ear. Don't get mad at me because I do dog ear my pages that I like, because I'm not to the point where I annotate yet. First of all, because I'm trying to gather the supplies. Anyways, I did take this one with me on mine and my husband's anniversary camping trip, because I was like, I need to finish this. I started it and I was like, oh, this is not it. Like, I am not liking this. But I pushed through it and I finished it on our trip. I did dog ear like 3 pages just because of like something they said, which was like, oh, that's nice. So this is a fake dating trope, if you guys like that. I did not like. I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3-star, you guys. Maybe 3.5. The spice level was, I mean, it was there, but it wasn't like, and I don't know, like, it just took me so long to get into, you know. And I like this is the first like fake dating trope book that I read. I don't know. I just don't know how to explain it. You just read it for yourself. If you like the fake dating trope, give it a shot. You might like it more than I did, but it just took so long to get into. And it was, I did hear that some of her other books are better, which I have like a couple right here, but hopefully they're better than this one. I don't know. And I did hear that this is not one of the faves, so I'm just glad that I read it. I just like and she's a thick girl according to what's going on in the book, but I like that too because I'm a thick girl. And so yeah, just give it a shot. It doesn't hurt. Next, you guys, I could already do this because this is one of my 5-star reads of 2024 so far. This is also the first book that I've read from this author, and this is like, she is an auto-buy author for me now. I cannot wait to read her backlog. Like, and you know it's a good book for me if I can sit there and talk to my husband about it and he's just like, listen to me, because he's amazing. And he's also looking at me like, girl, what's wrong with you? Because of all the emotion. But it is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I had never, well, I've heard of her through TikTok, Bookstagram, all that jazz, but I hadn't read her book until this month, and I picked it. I talked about the reason why I picked this book in my April TBR video, and my daughter had this on her bookshelf. I think we had gotten it from a Little Free Library, I believe, because we didn't buy this. Like, we didn't purchase it. She got it from a Little Free Library. I'm 100% sure. And so I was like, let me read it because One True Loves, I mean, celebrating my anniversary, blah, blah, blah. Had no clue what the story was about. You guys, you have to read this. It's kind of, I want to say like second chance romance trope, but at the same time, it's like, is it? So just the first line. Let me just read the first line to you guys, and you're going to be like, I need to read that. It says, I'm finishing up dinner with my family and my fiance when my husband calls. That's what sold me. Okay. So it talks about Emma and Jesse, and I don't want to give too much away because I want you to read it. So I'll just read the back. High school sweethearts Emma and Jesse moved far away from home together, traveling the world that didn't even sound right. So they moved far away from home together, traveling the world, chasing every adventure, building a life of their own. 364 days after the wedding, so the day before their 1-year anniversary, Jesse's on a helicopter that goes missing mid-flight. Suddenly he is gone. Years later, Emma is back in her hometown. She grieved, she learned to live again, she fell in love, and at a family dinner one autumn afternoon, she receives a call from Jesse. With a fiance and a husband, heartbreak lies ahead, but is there such a thing as one true love? You guys, so I see all those little cracks and crevices. I dog-eared so much of this book, like so much, and I want to go back and I want to annotate it because like I can't even explain. So I was asking my husband, I asked my husband and I asked my daughter this question. So, because my husband was like, well, what's the book about? Because you're like boohooing and oh my gosh, like, so I told him, I was like, okay, this girl fell in love with this guy. She worked at a bookstore, which is cute. She didn't really like care for him in the beginning because her sister thought he was cute. And so everything her sister liked, she didn't like just because her sister liked it. And so later on, like, she ends up falling for the guy, Jesse. They get married. They're like living their best life. Like, she's traveling, you know, because she starts as a journalist for traveling. Like, she talks about or writes about traveling. And since he was so stuck on the dream that his parents had for him, he was like, I don't want to do that no more. I want to chase my own dreams. I want to see my own things. So he decides to start traveling too. The day before they get married, he was like, I really want to go to see this thing or see this place. You've already seen it, but I want to experience it myself, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay. He goes, but I feel bad because, you know, it's going to be our 1-year anniversary. And she was like, no, go ahead. I want you to experience it, which is so cute. I don't know how I would feel about it if my husband was like, I'm not going to be here for anniversary, because that's just not who I am. I need to be with my man. But I love this for them. And he goes, the plane and the helicopter ends up going missing. This, like, it's sad. And she's like struggling with what she wants to do. She ends up, like, her sister like talks her into like saying, he's gone, girl, like, just move on, you're not bringing him back. She ends up falling in love with this really good guy. And like in the story, you're like, do I want to root for her and her husband? Like, she shouldn't be moving on. Like, she loved this guy, but then this guy comes around and he is amazing. Like, who do you root for? And so my husband was like, what do you mean, who do you root for? Like, you root for your husband, even though he's gone, blah, blah, blah. He's like, so I know how you truly feel now. And I was like, no, I'm just talking about the book, yo. Like, if it was me, I don't think I could ever move on. Like, if my husband were to pass, I don't feel myself. I don't see myself doing that ever. And so and my daughter said the same thing. Like, of course the husband, like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, but the guy that she meets later on is so good to her. But just read it, you guys. I'm just not even talking because it's already been 6 minutes and I'm still raving about this one. But this is definitely, I want to say 6-star read for me. It is a 6-star read for me. And the funny thing is, my name's Tina, my husband's name is Homer, and those two names are in this book, which is funny. Homer is the cat of Emma and her new man, like one of her cats, which is so funny. And Tina is the bookstore assistant that Emma works at. Like, you just read it. Just read it. On to the next one. Okay, guys. Now this one, I technically just had 3 books for my April TBR. And so since I got done with those pretty quick, I needed something else to read. So this one has nothing to do with love or anniversaries or any. I mean, homegirl didn't marry a lot, but I'll tell you what it is. And it's If You Tell by Greg Olson. This crushed me. Crushed me. I did not rate it. I only left a review on Goodreads. I'll link my Goodreads in the description. It's always there. I'm always up to date on it. So what I'm reading, you get it in real time. So this one, you guys, so it talks about these three sisters that from the beginning, it starts off with talking about their mother, right? She was born to this family, blah, blah, blah. Like, she was a little off, like her dad remarries, all that's like, so she's already like kind of, you can get weird vibes from her from the get. She ends up having kids, which is the three daughters that the story's about, and they're telling of how they grew up and how this is a true story, you guys. Look it up. I don't even remember the names. I know one of them was like Tori. One of the daughters was Tori. I believe she was the younger one. I could be wrong, but I didn't want to think about this book after I was finished with it because it was just so heartbreaking. So their mom was just, I say she was schizo, like, in no judgment to those that suffer from mental illness. I suffer from anxiety, so I'm not gonna judge and say that maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just how she thought. I don't know. But just like her mom, just like give you a snippet, her mom was so abusive to these girls and so abusive to the husbands that she had, like, and just friends around her. She ends up like one of her friends. That's the only little snippet that I'm gonna give you because there's so much more. Like, she irked me to the core. Just how mean she was, how conniving and like, I felt so bad for these girls and that they had to live through that, and they lived to tell a story. Like, their mom was something. Like, she had people believing her crazy lies. So just all that, I mean, if you want to read it, it's very triggering. Check your trigger warnings for sure, because this one was crazy, and that's why I did not rate it. I don't like to rate, after I read like the Britney Spears memoir, I don't like to, I think I rated that one, which I feel bad about, and I think I might take it back, but memoirs, I cannot rate for some reason. At least like heartbreaking ones. Like, I'm sure there's some really good, like fluffy and happy ones, but the ones that I've read, I cannot rate because they're just sad. Like, the way that some people have just been raised and how they triumphed over it. Like, just, I don't know. Just, if you want to read it, go ahead. It's very triggering. Like, I don't know what else to talk about, but very triggering and heartbreaking. Now, my last book that I read was also not on my TBR, but I had to read it because I heard so much about it, and I did send a copy. Even before I read it, I sent the copy to my friend Danny from Danny Reads, and I will leave her info in the description as well. Go check her out. She is a thriller girl through and through. But she talked about, I heard her very clearly when she said she wanted to dip her foot into romance and stuff, and so I was like, let me check her little Amazon wish list, because I want to send her something. Like, if she has anything close to a romance, I'm gonna send it to her, because I love thriller, but I also love romance. I'm everywhere, you guys. I'm everywhere. I like to read a lot of stuff. But so the first book that I seen on her wish list that had anything to do with anything outside of thriller was Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and that is the other reason why I had to read this too, because like I said, she's my auto-buy author now. Tell me why Danny read this before me. And I sent it to her. this, I gave it a 4.75. On my Goodreads, I believe I put 4 because you can't really do the point whatever. And if you can, please let me know, because I would love to do that to give my true opinion. But I did leave a little review on what I thought about this book. The reason why I didn't give it a 5, because homegirl had a lot of marriages. Like, and me, I'm not like, if you have been married and divorced and all that jazz, that's you. That's your business. I don't judge anyone. This is just a fake character, so I'm gonna judge. But for me personally, I take marriage like very seriously. I don't know. There are definitely reasons to get out of a marriage. I'm not saying that, you know, stay in an abusive relationship or one that's just not for you. Like, we all make mistakes. We're all human. The only one that is perfect is the Lord above. And so for me, I'm not going to judge you and your past or what you've gone through, because I don't know. I don't live in your household, and I'm only talking about me personally. So marriage for me is just something just so sacred. And the homegirl just had seven marriages, and not for, I mean, for a good reason, but not for a great, I don't know. This is so hard to explain because I don't want to like step on toes or push buttons or anything. But in the beginning, you can tell like homegirl, Miss Evelyn, she would fight for what she wanted, and she would do what she needed to do. She used her body. That's another probably trigger that I was like, she used her body to get what she wants. And women, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We are beautiful creatures. Like, use our minds, use our heart. Like, don't use our bodies to get what we want. That's just, there's other ways to get things. But again, not judging. If you do, you boo-boo. Like, do you. Just know that you're beautiful, fearfully and wonderfully made. You like that? But I didn't dog ear any pages in here. There were some good little points, but let me tell you, starting at chapter 56, look at this, is almost the end of the book. I was like, my husband was doing his little computer work for his job at the kitchen table, and I'm sitting in the living room, and I'm just about to throw this book. My mouth's on the floor. I'm about to cry. Like, just like, oh my goodness, girl, don't, like, all the emotions. And he was looking at me like, do I need to worry about you? But it talks about Evelyn Hugo. She grows, like, she talks about when she first was raised in this neighborhood that just wasn't given, like, she was not here for it. So she said, I am going to do whatever I need to do to make it to Hollywood. She made it to Hollywood. She used her body to do a lot of things that, and what I like about Taylor Jenkins Reid's book so far, I've only read 2, there's not spice. There's spice, like a little spice, but not like girl. It's not very explicit. It's not explicit at all. Like, it definitely tells like, hey, they're gonna do this, but doesn't give details or anything. So if you are looking for some reads that you're like, okay, I'm done with the smut, or I don't care for smut, like, check out Taylor Jenkins Reid books. They're good. And so anyways, back to the story, because I'm already ranting about what's going on with this. She falls in love. She cares about men. Like, she's technically bisexual. That's, I'm gonna give you that. Technically bisexual. She falls in love with men. She marries them. She, you know, she doesn't really care to have a family until later on, because she realizes that's what she's missing. But she does fall for a woman in the industry as well, and that's just like, that is just the reason why. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. So, with that being said, go read this. If you like, I don't even know what trope to give this, really. It's not what you want to call it, fake marrying, fake marriage, because it's not fake dating. I don't know, like forbidden love, I have no clue, but it was a good read, and I did give it a 4.75 in my head on paper. Goodreads, I put 4, I don't know, but definitely good. Like, I just like the ending. It was so good, and you just felt the emotion of just what love is to someone, you know? Anyways, this video is probably super long, but that was my April wrap up. Keep an eye out for my May TBR, because I will be using my cute little TBR jar to pick my reads, and I'm gonna film that right after, because I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, week, month, year, and so on. Love you all. Bye.